Hello， 大家好 ，Welcome to 双语成语 Bilingual Chinese Idioms. I'm 徐老师。
And I'm Lucy. So what idiom are we going to look at today, 老师?
In this episode, we are going to talk about the most popular Chinese idiom in the West. Have a guess. Do you think you know what it could be?
If I was to take my best guess, I would say it's got to be 马马虎虎.
How did you know?
Well, to be honest, it was a bit of an educated guess. It's quite catchy and easy to remember for English speakers. Like, for example, the first time I say 马马虎虎 to my friends who can't speak Chinese, they're really amused by the repetition of the sound and it sticks in their head immediately. For example, when I use it to describe something to them and say that it's average, they completely love it. So now when I ask them, how was your day? Can you guess what the response is?
马马虎虎.
That's right. And when I ask, so what do you think of that new restaurant that opened up recently? They say,
马马虎虎.
So then when I ask, how are your grades? They say,
I hope it's not 马马虎虎.
Well, sometimes it is just mama hoo hoo, unfortunately. I mean, I know mama hoo hoo literally means horse, horse, tiger, tiger. But I have to say, I'm a bit curious why mama hoo hoo is used to describe something that's average. 老师, perhaps you could tell us a bit more about this mama hoo hoo.
You are right. The mama hoo hoo is used to describe something average, but it also can be used to describe someone who is slapdash and does things hurriedly and carelessly.
I guess it makes sense. I mean, if someone's approach to work is a bit slapdash, I guess the quality tends to be a bit average at best.
There's no surprise there. There's an interesting story behind the idiom 马马虎虎.
Ooh, let me guess. Is the plot filled with deception and trickery, like with 狐假虎威? Or could it be the case of a tale of bickering between two rivals, like with 鹬蚌相争?
Good effort, but I'm afraid not. It's actually about an artist.
An artist? What on earth does an artist have to do with a horse and a tiger?
You will find out soon. Are you ready for the story?
I sure am.
马马虎虎.
The horse and the tiger.
传说宋代有一个画家，做事很随意。
It is said that there was a painter from the Song dynasty who did as he pleased.
有一次，他画了一个虎头，刚好有人来请他画马。
Once, just as he finished painting a tiger's head, someone came and asked him to paint a horse.
他就随手在虎头下面画上马的身体。
Without a care in the world, he began painting a horse's body onto the tiger's head.
这个人问他：“你是画马还是画虎呢？”
The person asked him, Are you painting a horse or a tiger?
他回答：“马马虎虎。”
He replied, 马马虎虎, a horse and a tiger.
这个人看到这幅画不像马也不像虎，他就不买了。
The man looked at the painting. It didn't look like a horse and it didn't look like a tiger, so he didn't buy it.
客人不要这幅画，画家就把它挂在大厅欣赏。
His customers didn't want the painting, so the painter hung it up in the hall so he could admire it himself.
这天，大儿子回来问他：“父亲，这幅画是画什么？”
That day, his eldest son returned home and asked him, Father, what is this painting of?
他回答：“老虎。”
He replied, A tiger.
晚上，小儿子回来也问他：“父亲，这幅画是画什么？”
That evening, his youngest son returned home and also asked him, Father, what is this painting of?
他回答：“马。”
He replied, A horse.
画家这两个儿子都不聪明。
Neither of the painter's sons were clever.
不久，大儿子出门打猎，看到一只马，以为是老虎，就把马射死了。
Shortly after, the eldest son went out hunting and saw a horse. He mistook it for a tiger and shot it dead.
马的主人很生气，要画家赔钱。
The owner of the horse was furious and demanded compensation from the painter.
过2天，小儿子出门碰到老虎，他以为是马，想去骑它，结果被老虎咬死了。
2 days later, the youngest son went out and ran into a tiger, which he mistook for a horse. He wanted to ride it, but in the end, he was mauled to death by the tiger.
因为一幅马虎图，画家不但赔了很多钱，而且小儿子也没了，他很伤心。
All because of a careless picture. Not only did the painter lose out on a lot of money, he also lost his youngest son, leaving him heartbroken.
他把那幅画烧了，还写了一首诗，告诉大家做事千万不要马马虎虎的。
He burned the painting and then wrote a poem telling everyone not to be so ma马虎虎. Essentially, do not be so careless in what you do. Okay, guys, that's the end of the story for today. My goodness, I've heard this Chungyu so many times, but who would have thought it had such a dark story behind it?
It's a hard lesson for the artist. So in modern Chinese, 马虎, only one horse and one tiger, is commonly used to describe someone whose approach to work is careless and sloppy. So you can say 他做事很马虎, meaning that he takes no care in what he does or doesn't put a lot of effort into things.
Okay, so I see. Okay, in that case, so ma马虎虎 can also be used to describe the quality of something that is either mediocre or so-so or just okay, right?
Exactly. For example, if I say, Lucy, how is the new cafe in town? 那家新咖啡馆怎么样？
Okay, so I could reply 还可以马马虎虎, so literally meaning the cafe is average.
Yes, and another common usage for 马马虎虎 is when someone praise your skills or ability in doing something. You say 马马虎虎 to downplay it. In Chinese culture, to show modesty is to tell people that you are not complacent with your ability.
Okay, so this is the part I actually find a bit challenging from the perspective of British culture. Because in the UK, if someone were to give me a compliment, I would accept it with a smile and most likely say something like, "Oh, thank you so much," just so I can let the other person know that I really appreciate their compliment. Or, for example, if I wanted to downplay it, I might also say something like, "Oh, no, it's not that great," or, there's always room for improvement. I guess it just kind of depends on the context. Or, for example, in terms of an idiom, we do have a couple of phrases that we could use when something is just average. For example, one of them is, "It's nothing to write home about," or "It's nothing to scream and shout about." I would say these are the most naturally sounding ones.
I see. Lucy, 你汉语说得真好。
Okay, so I guess in Chinese I would reply, 没有,马马虎虎. But I think if it was in English, I would say, "Oh, thank you so much." 老师,您英语说得真好呀.
Well, in Chinese, I would say 马马虎虎. In English, I should say thank you very much.
Now, before you guys go anywhere, we'd just like you, our beloved audience, know that we'd love to hear from you too. Whether you have a burning question that you'd like to ask about Chengyu or translation, or even if you'd like to have a go at translating our Chengyu yourself. Who knows? Perhaps you even have a better one than us. If so, go ahead and leave us a comment down below to let us know. Well, that's it from us, and once again, we'd like to thank you for staying with us until now. Thank you so much, and see you next time. Bye!
谢谢大家。